If you're dealing with this right now, the Dad Survival Pack is linked in the description. A dad who's pushed away from his kids doesn't stop loving them. He just carries that love in silence. And most people will never understand what that actually feels like. At the beginning, it just feels like conflict, arguments, tension inside the home, disagreements about parenting. But slowly, the dynamic starts changing. Conversations turn into accusations. Communication turns into distance. And a dad who once felt like part of the family starts feeling like a visitor in his own life. Eventually, the conflict stops being about the relationship. It becomes about control. Control over decisions, control over communication, control over the kids. And when a father stops accepting that control, everything escalates. Because once control is threatened, something much more powerful gets used. That's when the kids quietly become leverage. Phone calls become shorter. Visits suddenly get canceled. Schedules change without warning. And slowly, the distance between a father and his children begins to grow. Not because he stopped trying, not because he stopped loving them, but because someone else now controls the door between them. And the hardest part for a dad is knowing the place he's fighting the hardest to protect is always his kids. Then something even more damaging happens. The story about dad begins to change. He's suddenly described as distant, uninvolved, absent. People hear the story, but they never see the fight behind it. They don't see the calls that went unanswered, the visits that got canceled, the doors that slowly closed. Because the fight for a father's relationship with his kids is rarely about what actually happened. Most of the time, the fight is actually about the story. Nothing destroys a dad more than loving his kids deeply while slowly being pushed out of their lives. He still thinks about them every day. He still hopes they're okay. He still wonders if they miss him. But the world around him starts acting like he disappeared by choice. And that's a pain many fathers carry without ever speaking about it. A father pushed away from his kids doesn't stop loving them. He just learns to carry that love quietly, waiting for the day his children might finally see the truth and understand. He never stopped fighting for them. If you're dealing with this right now, the Dad Survival Pack is linked in the description.